Hey, Dr. Shakib here from Irvine Spinal Wellness Center. This is the foot and ankle series, and these are the exercises that you can do to essentially end up stretching your ankles and your feet and prepping the area if you're a runner, if you're a cyclist, or if you're just a regular person that does hiking or whatever the case may be. This is just a good series of exercises to do at home. So I have here with me Ava, and I was going to show you some of the things that I'd like for you to consider doing at home. I have a pretty easy band. If you don't have it, you can use a rope or whatever it is at home just to keep your knees kind of at a certain distance, and it prevents your knees from moving as you're doing these series of exercises. So what you want to do is you want to keep your knees straight while you're, can you see the feet here? While you do inversion, eversion. So keep this nice and straight, Ava, without moving it. Can you move your ankles or your feet in and out? So there is some degree of movement here, but there is not much. So go ahead, and that's a great exercise. It allows the loosening of this joint, ankle joint here. So you want to go all the way eversion as much as you can without moving your knees, and inversion, which is the opposite. So that's one of the things that you can do. Bring this down here. And then the next one, Caroline, if you can come over on this end, we're going to do the exercise. Go ahead and lay down on your back. And on this exercise, we can just put this one. You want to flex, you want to dorsiflex the ankle just like it is. The whole time you're going to press on the ball as you bring the ball closer to you. Make this leg straight if you can. And press into it, keep it dorsiflex and go back and forth. So keep it on the ball and you go back and forth. And of course you do all of these exercises on both sides, and you can do this for like 15 seconds or so, maybe 20 seconds, and then switch over on the other side, or just keep doing it maybe for a minute total on one side and then on the other side. The key here is to keep a firm contact with the ball, keep the foot at a dorsiflexion, and you go back and forth without wobbling your knees so much. Okay, Ava, if you would go ahead and sit up. There we go. Go ahead and sit up and sit in the back and keep your legs straight. I have my little cheat sheet here. So you want to keep your feet nice and together, and as your feet are together, you want to kind of roll them back and forth, side to side. This is basically the health of your ankles has a lot to do with the health of your hips and knees. So we're just concentrating on the ankle, but we should never disregard the importance of a healthy movement within the hip joints itself. So you want to go keep them together and you go back and forth, and then you kind of, can you just keep them in centered and then open them up this way, and then closing them, and opening and closing them. This is, again, this is a ball and socket in the femur with acetabulum, where the socket is. So it allows proper movement of the femur within the socket as you're going back and forth. And then you do dorsiflexion, plantar flexion, so bring your feet together. And I can see that Ava has something going on with the right ankle, because the right ankle, as she comes up, the right ankle on the outside is not coming out. We need to take a look at that and adjust it. And so we do inversion and eversion, so you keep it as much as you can. On the ball, we kept the knees kind of as stable as possible, and we did the ankle movement. In this case, we're going to do the whole inversion. Go ahead and inversion and eversion as much as you can. So it's going to be inversion, so it really opens you up here, and eversion, so really gets the ball in the socket going. It's a great exercise to loosen things up quite a bit. And then let's do the calf stretching exercise. Let's go up here. So for this exercise, what you want to do, is you want to bend your knees and keep the back leg nice and straight with the heel about 10 degrees or so out. So 10 degrees, just imagine if this is the X and Y axis, it's 10 degrees, so it's 90 degrees in between if you divide it by 9. So it's not really that much. So if your ankle is straight, you just turn it out a little bit, keep it there, and then this front knee, while you keep the back leg straight, that's gonna stretch certain muscles, and then you do it for hold it for 15 seconds, and then you switch it over on the other side. You do all the exercises bilaterally or on both sides. And then the second series to this is when you bend the ankle a little bit and you go through the same movement again. That addresses a different muscle in the back of your calf. And overall, these are the things that you should do at home for a healthier ankle joint. But let's once again remind you, sorry about that, remind you that you do exercises on both sides. You do these things preventatively. This becomes more of an issue, especially for runners. So I hope that you enjoyed and you found this video beneficial. If you liked what you saw, please subscribe to my YouTube channel, share this with your friends and family, and I have a Facebook page. I encourage you to follow that. I will be doing live series of interviews with experts and related businesses that have to do with running and hiking, so you can better understand how to prevent it. Prevention is so much easier than taking care of problems. Thank you for watching. Take care.